Hey, how you doing? It's Graham Taylor here at Hudson Rose. Improving your credit score and how to do that is something that a lot of people are concerned with when they're buying a house or remortgaging. And rightly so, because a measure of your credit is one of the things that a lender's going to do to see if they're going to lend you the money. So there's a few things you can do to bolster your credit score and to give you the best chance of getting the mortgage that you need to buy the house. The first thing we'd always say is make sure you're on the electoral roll at your current address. Not a previous address or you haven't updated it, but where you are currently. The reason being is it shows that you've kind of put down roots. It gives you a certain central point where the lender can see, all right, well, these people have been here, they're obviously staying there, they're not flighty or going to disappear into nowhere. And when lenders carry out their credit search, actually being on the electoral roll gives you quite a few points to their scorecard, to that benchmark. So if you're not already, get on the electoral roll. The other thing you can do is actually use some credit. So if you've got no credit history at all, that's very difficult for lenders to then be able to make an assumption about, well, are you going to be able to pay this money back? You've got no proof of doing it in the past. So start to use credit, use it sensibly, don't go nuts, get a credit card, start doing maybe the weekly shop, paying it off in full each month, 6 to 12 months before you think you might want to buy, start doing that. And that will give you a credit footprint. So when they come to search and apply for the mortgage, they'll see, hey, this person's really good at using credit, they're responsible, they're on the electoral roll, we know where they are, get multiple ticks. So that's the second thing that we do in order to be able to up your credit score. And the final one, sounds a bit daft, right? But it's pretty basic, but it's pretty important, is try to maintain any credit accounts you've got as perfectly as possible. Even things like a late payment on a credit card, if it's in the 3 months before you go to apply a mortgage, can really scupper things. Because lenders don't know if it's indicative of something going amiss. So any credit accounts you have, keep them up to date, make sure they're paid on time, don't miss any payments, don't have any late payments. You know, ideally you don't have any when you come to apply for the mortgage. Don't panic if historically you've had the odd blip here and there's things in your credit file. There are lenders out there that are going to be able to work with that. But ultimately, they're going to have slightly higher interest rates because there's an increased risk from their part. So yeah, if you have credit accounts, keep them up to date. The final thing is on credit, if you have lots of credit cards but you're not using them, another way to boost your credit score is to close down the cards you're not using. Because often, you know, we've all sort of got a credit card, had the offer for 12 months, bounced it over to another provider and kept that card open. And it's not uncommon to end up having 5 or 6 cards, all with these different limits, with nothing on them. When you come to a credit score, the problem is a lender's going to look at it and say, well, actually, this person could potentially borrow like 30 grand overnight because they've got all these credit accounts open. And it's what's called an appetite for debt. It's a funny phrase, but that's what they've always called it, so we'll go with it. So what we can do, if you close down the cards you don't need, okay, and you always want to have a credit card for emergencies, it's always good to have that buffer there, but close the ones you don't need down, get the amount that you can draw on credit to a more manageable amount rather than some astronomical number that you're never going to use. And again, that will boost your credit score as well. So 4 things really: electoral roll, use credit if you haven't got any already. If you have got it, then make sure you're paying it on time and you haven't got any blips. And the final one is close any unused credit accounts down. What I'll add to this is don't worry about you don't have to have no debt when you come to apply for a mortgage. As long as it is manageable and you can manage any debt in your salary, it's all proportional to what you're earning. It's not a problem, so don't feel you have to be debt-free. As ever, if you guys have got any questions or queries, give it a shout. You can get us on 0330 122 9920. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram and ping us messages or prodders or whatever you want to do to get in touch. And we will catch you soon. Take care. Bye.